Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon as I talk about their movies, of course, their merchandising or theme parks or I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in some kind of shape or form, then yes, of course I'm talking about it, obviously. So I'm going to be speaking about something I saw from Disney Plus again, and it's Morpheus. Yep. So yeah, here we go, of course. Yes, I do realize that this is based upon a comic book character, so here we are again, talking about another movie that's been inspired by a comic. So, a comic book line, I should say. Even though we've talked about comic book movies isn't really my thing, to be honest here. But how faithful it is to the source material, I don't know. I have not read the comic books myself, so I can't tell you if it's faithful or kind of is or hardly at all. But anyway, I'm just gonna just talk about this as a movie, and that's because it is. And yes, before anyone says anything, I know this had received so many bad reviews. I'm aware, okay? I'm aware. I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, of course, as always, let's talk about the plot. So let's get into it, shall we? So here we go. So yeah, it's kind of like yeah, it really reminds me of like a vampire type of a thing. I thought that was fine because I like vampire stuff anyway. So there was that, I reckon. And we do have like this hospital thing going on because of this biochemist. Yeah, this biochemist individual does become an important figure in the overall story. So yeah, of course, there's gonna be some weird stuff that's gonna happen here, obviously. And anyway, this biochemist individual does attempt to cure himself of this rare blood disease because, of course, that's what he wants. He doesn't want this thing to be in him anymore. So, of course, obviously, he wants it to be fixed. But, of course, it never goes really simple. No, we can't never keep it too simple. Obviously, it's a comic book movie. Of course, we can never keep it too simple. So, let's just say he inadvertently infects himself with a form of vampirism, so to speak, and chaos ensues from this point on. So, of course, things would get rather bizarre, obviously. So, that happened to him, to this poor guy. So, yeah, this individual does decline this Nobel Prize for his work with artificial blood. Yeah, of course, there's also this other individual as well who knows him, discovers he secretly pretty much captured dozens of bats from Costa Rica in the hopes of splicing their DNA with his own to cure his condition as mentioned before. So our main character here does receive funding from someone to pretty much output a private missionary vessel kind of a thing in international waters with his equipment. So while the cure works, it transforms him into like a vampire type creature who kills and drains the crew of their blood after they attacked him out of fear. Once his, let's say, his bloodlust subsides and he returns to his senses, let's just say that he had to pretty much erase all the footage, the CCTV footage to be more exact, of his experiments before contacting the authorities and jumping overboard, so to speak. So, yes, of course, our main character now we have this kind of superhuman strength kind of a thing going on. So that's definitely as a thing, obviously in the film. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of like a horror movie kind of a thing. So comic book horror movie, I guess. Comic book superhero movie, I guess, to be more precise, really, to come to think about it. But anyway, like I was saying earlier, folks, yes, I know this film has received a fairly bad reputation, and a lot of people are saying it's cringy in some ways and whatnot. I was like, it's really corny and just poorly written. And yeah, the thing is that, okay, right on top of my head, I would say maybe The Legend of Chun-Li, if you want to compare an action movie, or even maybe something in the terms of Chain Gang Girls, which was also pretty horrendous. Alright, let me see what else. Okay, I could even go into animation for like a quick second here. Of course, there's also, of course, this one, which I didn't like at all. And also this one as well. So this dog movie, which was just not a good kids movie like at all. Actually, I was thinking of mentioning the film similar to Dreams Come True because it's a horrendously awful. But just like how we don't talk about Bruno, we don't talk about Similar to Dreams Come True. Ugh. And if I want to talk about in terms of horror movies, okay, yeah, I've definitely seen quite a few of these awful horror films. Yeah, these come in dime a dozen, folks. So yeah, and all of these actually did cover at some point. By the way, yeah, reviewed so many of these. It's just unbelievable how many I've discussed here. Just Christ Almighty. Ugh, these were definitely a headache to set through. So okay, if you want to just go in terms of let's say comic book movies, sure, I can do that. Let's say maybe like Batman and Robin, maybe Superman 3 and 4, maybe also Green Lantern, which was not very good. Oh yeah, Batman Forever. There's just no. The Last Stand, Catwoman. I could definitely bring that in, of course. Or even the 1989 Batman film, which was terrible, and also Batman Returns, of course. And I would definitely say Man of Steel, along with Batman v Superman, and of course the Amazing Spider-Man, along with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So yeah, I'll definitely say all of these are far worse than this movie. I will stand by that. Just what? So ultimately, I would say it's decent. That's all we can say. It's decent. It's nowhere nearly as horrible as a lot of people claim it to be. No, it's not quite as good as it should have been. More lines, it's just decent. I would just say it's decent. I like a lot of the action sequences, of course. They were nicely done. I like some of the abilities that the main character had, of course. So yeah, it was pretty action packed. So I guess they were going for like an action horror thriller kind of a thing, I suppose, and whatnot. Well, I mean, might as well, I guess. Sure, why not? I mean, sure, why not? I'm all for it. Action packed horror thriller. Yeah, seems like a promising thing. So yeah, yeah, those are some pretty solid moments throughout the entire thing. I mean, maybe if a few things might have been cringy, sure, I would say that, but that was okay. I thought it was pretty solid. I thought I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say I won't buy it on 4K. Really, I won't go that far. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. The special effects are decent enough, I suppose. Yeah, it doesn't exactly blow my mind when it comes to special effects because I've seen better special effects in other movies. But for what it's worth, it's decent special effects. I'll add definitely. Oh yeah. But anyway, ultimately, I didn't hate this movie. No, I didn't hate it. Of course. In terms of story, it does bring in decent enough entertainment. It's supposed to be, of course, an origin story for this character, obviously. And of course, I didn't watch this movie when it first screened, but it was not because of bad reviews. It had other things going on. Anyway, I'll give this film an overall rating of a 5.2 out of 10. It gets a 5.2 out of 10 from me. But as always, thanks for watching and take care. See ya. Oh yeah, later.